California sun has sunk behind Anaheim hills. Here comes the night. I was high on junk, and the warm winter sun, and I feel alright.
Everyone, welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. Of course, I am your host, the one and only, the often imitated, never duplicated backyard superstar, Tim Vicious. And then this is actually, this is actually episode 21. So, hey, way to go! This episode's now old enough to drink, but ain't gonna. So, don't worry. Staying classy, folks. Staying classy. Alright, so anyways, before I go and start off with this week's rant, few quick things I really wanted to get out there first. One, thank you to everyone that wound up watching last week. Actually, it was, believe it or not, the most watched one yet. It keeps going up higher and higher. I'm pretty sure I'm going to wind up having a heart attack one of these days when I wind up looking at the view list. And the other one, it's that I was gonna go and do it on one. I was gonna do this episode on one thing, but wound up getting so pissed off over something, I wound up having to change plans on it. So. Sorry, folks. Nasty bit of a cough. And there's a little bit of humor in there somewhere. That having to kneel down on that and grab a swig of water. Okay? Anyways. On with this week's bitching and moaning. This one, it's actually on the fact of this past draw. Because a whole bunch of things went wrong. I mean, it was like, if it could go wrong, it would go wrong. Honestly, the only two things that didn't wind up being a disappointment was the match with The Shield and the end of the night with Hunter and Brock. And, it's honestly, they had the matches way too quick. They had very little promo times. And the fact that, honestly, if they kept saying WWE, download the WWE app one more time, I would have wound up going down there myself, bash Michael Cole's fucking head in, give Jerry Lawler another heart attack, and then kick JBL in the nuts. I'm not even kidding, I would have. I mean, it was that annoying. And here, I want to show you guys something. I got the app myself. I downloaded it a long while back. I did an episode and I brought it up before about with the whole show situation. Yeah, but yeah, it's going to take forever to load, and it's more than likely going to crash. And if it doesn't crash, that's going to be a godsend. Still waiting. It should be done at about a freckle past a hair. And still waiting. Oh look, the screen timed out because I've been waiting so long. What a shock. That and another thing that they wanted to go and glorify and say, that they had a record-setting high amount of votes that night on the damn thing. Really? Correct me if I'm wrong, but when Jericho came back and they did the active poll vote thing for who Punk was going to fight when he went heel, one of the top choices were Rey Mysterio, Orton, or Jericho. And, well, last I checked, I believe that the votes for Jericho versus Punk wound up actually causing the damn thing to crash, because it wound up getting so many. That was a real record-setting vote. Those were real record-setting votes. Not that bullshit that you had that night. You know, you had the right kind of idea, having all the mid-card guys competing. But honestly, it was like the Attitude Era wound up having a heart attack and died right in the middle of the ring, right then and there, because it having all the mid-card guys fighting and making the show instead of having a couple mid-cards do some squash matches and then emphasize on the main event guys like you normally do. No, you focused more on the younger talent, on the lower level talent, which is good, which is what you should do. Have the regular TV shows focus on the low level talent and emphasize on the higher talent and at the beginning and the end. So that way, you know, you can build it up. But you know, it was, the matches were so quick, it was like ding ding ding, match is done. And it's an insult to the fan base. And I'm not talking the 8 and 10-year-olds that wear the shirts and do you can't see me or do the nap time kind of bit. Oh no. I mean actual wrestling fans. Ones that actually know moves. Ones that will actually be able to talk to people about stuff. Ones that'll actually say, hey, you remember when this guy was heel a couple months ago? You know, or things like that. But it's a damn shame. And honestly it is. Because you have a lot of great young talent there. Like Damian Sandow, who, for all intents and purposes, should be in the upper mid cards, should be fighting for king of the upper mid cards right now, but instead you having him job the likes of the Miz or Randy Orton or things like that, and it's a damn shame. You know, you also got guys like Cody Rhodes, who, if you'd have rewound the clock to this time last year, everyone was looking at Cody saying, he's going to get a push. He's going to get a push in a couple months. Now what do you got him doing? You got him doing the pre-show with the Miz, and that in and of itself is just a laughing stock because there's no actual feud or rivalry, just a regular one-on-one match. No reason as to why. I mean, it don't make sense. Here's a far-fetched idea. Seeing as on how you have champions, you know, why not actually give them a chance to go on those shows and do some title matches? You know, you guys did something like that before with Night of Champions. You had a pre-show battle royal for who would fight the U.S. champ. So why not do the same thing, but instead of this time having it be the U.S., since Kofi's going to wind up losing the Ambrose, which my prediction, I'm calling that, and Seth and Roman are going to wind up beating Hell No, and then they're finally going to split up. And if they don't split up, then they're going to wind up doing the rematch, then split. But anyways, have them do the Battle Royal, and then have them go up against the Intercontinental Champ. You know, the guy that wound up actually is barely even ever promoted anymore. I mean, just an odd concept. I'll give you guys a few seconds to think about that. Go ahead. I'm just going to sit here and wait. Done? Okay, yeah. See what I mean? Let the people actually have what they want. You know, like I said before, you got your target demographic. You're doing PG, so you're making it kid-friendly. Okay. But does that really mean you have to take away from everyone on what real fans would like too? Because honestly, I mean, Punk's out because of a knee injury. That's understandable. You know, he's taking some much needed time off. Aside from the knee, Lord knows he probably racked up a whole bunch of other injuries, bumps and sores. Lord knows I did plenty of times. And Ziggler's out with a concussion. He's probably not going to be back on TV anytime soon until like maybe a week or two before the next pay-per-view. And yeah, so you got Cena and Ryback carrying the show. Really? I mean, I don't want to try and be like the Miz here doing this, but really? Really? I mean, how many times can you keep showing replays of the same promos for build-ups for matches, and how many times can you wind up bringing up shit about the fucking app that doesn't work the way it fucking should, time in and time out? You know? I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. And it's flat out fucking annoying. So it's... If, you know, my opinion, that was probably the worst live Raw, and I emphasize on the word live Raw because there were Raws that were way worse, but were pre-taped. You know, case in point, the New Year's one, where this is still a bitter pill to swallow. The Christmas one, because that was just a god-awful mistake. You know? But seriously, give the fans something that they will enjoy. Is that so hard to do? I honestly, I can't understand why it is. Because, you know, you got, case in point, guy like Zack Ryder. You know, he's a good wrestler, good athlete, but you gave him that stupid comedy gimmick, and that wound up turning me away from him. Because I was a fan of his, you know, but then he started with that take care, spike your hair shit, and it was kind of, and it was like, boring. But now with him slowly doing that heel turn that he's going to be doing, it's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty good now. You know? Give the credit where credit's due to good talent. And for the love of God, make sure that it's actually something decent. You know? It's not that hard. Alright, so anyways, now that I'm pretty much done with my bitching and moaning, let's go and do the normal routine for the end. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Leave any comments or questions on down below, or send me a message on Twitter. Also, don't forget to look for all of these cool ass cats right here on Twitter. Make sure you follow them. Also, I didn't put her name, but once again, look for Simply Sabrina. Like I said, she's helping with a youth advocacy program, and aside from that, she's a pretty cool chick to talk to. Alright, look for these people right on here. KCat26. Cat, one of these days, me and you are going to wind up having that pudding match. My brother from another mother, James Steele. That Roxy girl _V bitch. James, Roxy, and Vicky. Those three, they are on YouTube also. Look for them. They're under who I subscribe to. I am Danny Sunday. Next big thing in wrestling, folks. Lucky Morris, Charmaine does Brit Wrestle Chat podcast. Really good show. Yao _Cakes, Jerry Soriano, Team Custom Made, Cranky Asshole, Stacy Impact W Fan, Legion Lady Aaron, Legion of Nerds. Also, don't forget to check out legionofnerds.com. And once again, you love me great, hate me, fuck you.